I surrender to the Almighty, my mind, speech and body. Vanakkam. In the last video, we saw how old the Tamil civilization is. Our Tamil ancestors observed life and wrote down the lessons they learned to pass it on to the future generations. Nature has preserved their expert knowledge for all these years. Among the thousands of written works in Tamil literature, scholars agree that Thirukkural is the one book that carries the essence of all of our ancestral knowledge. Today I will tell you how Thirukkural entered my life and who taught me. Like most Tamil-speaking children, I was introduced to Thirukkural in my school days, as it is a part of the language curriculum. But it was much later in life, when some things were not going so well and there was a desire to make sense of the events happening around me, that Thirukkural made a deeper entry into my life. A well-wisher gave me an audio of Thirukkural lectures and I listened to it casually. But in the first lecture itself, I knew that if anyone wanted to understand Thirukkural, it had to be only from that speaker. I simply had to learn Thirukkural from him. It was as if someone had caught me from sinking deeper into my mess and there was some hope of climbing out. The name of that speaker is KAMBAVARITHY Ilangai Jeyaraj, who is currently our guru and he is residing in Sri Lanka. We, that is his students, address him as Ayya, which is a respectful way of addressing elders. One thing led to another, and in 2017, Ayya agreed to fly all the way from Sri Lanka to Chennai in India to teach Thirukkural for whoever was interested. So a few of us came together and we formed a non-profit group called Karka Kasadara, and we started conducting regular Thirukkural classes for anyone who wanted to learn. Karka Kasadara means learning properly without any doubts and ambiguity. So it is because of the loving care and generosity of Ayya that I, along with 100 and odd other students, are currently reading this book. And now, in the middle of the pandemic, we are still learning through the online platforms. Our Guru is a very intelligent, humble and a good human being. He has inspired many young minds all over the world and continues his work like a gentle, joyful river that flourishes every form of life along its path. He is like a breath of fresh air in this congested life. His words are simple yet powerful. He had many eminent scholars as his gurus. Right from his young age, he was deeply inspired by the works of KAMBAN. KAMBAN is a highly respected poet of the ancient times, and Ayya immersed himself in KAMBAN's way of life, and he was rightfully awarded the title KAMBAVARITHY, which literally means ocean of KAMBAN. In this context, it means someone who is an expert in the works of KAMBAN. So that's our guru, and he has written many books and has been awarded many titles, but he considers teaching Thirukkural to the younger generation as his life's important mission and still continues to do that quietly and peacefully from Sri Lanka. Whatever I will be speaking here on Thirukkural is what I have learned from my guru. Any errors are my own. You might wonder, if I am a native speaker of Tamil and the book is in Tamil, then why is there a need for a teacher or a guru? Even though I am a native speaker of the language, I could not comprehend this book on my own because of the sophisticated style of writing. Let me give some basic information about Tamil. I have mentioned this in my other series of videos on learning the Tamil alphabets. I will repeat it here. The Tamil language has undergone many changes over the long period of time, and so the language that is currently in use today is little different from the Tamil that was used in the olden days. Most of the olden literature is composed in the poetic form, and the Tamil used in the poetic form is very advanced from what is in the current spoken form. Moreover, our Tamil ancestors were people of a few words, and they used as few words as possible to convey big concepts. There is a technique in Tamil grammar to do that. Such a technique of condensing big truths in few words is called SOOTHIRAM in Tamil, and the Tamil poetic literature is based on SOOTHIRAM. So imagine if we have to stuff a lot of cotton in a small glass jar. So we can adopt many techniques. We can roll them into threads or small balls and stuff them in a box, pack it tightly and stuff some more. But when taking out the cotton, a similar technique must be employed. So only one who understands how it was stuffed will be able to successfully take out a small piece of cotton. The rest of us can simply dig and pinch and push it, but we won't be able to extract the cotton. So similarly, we need a guru to extract the information from the verses of the Thirukkural, and fortunately we are blessed with the best guru. Now let's get into the subject. Thirukkural is a book of Aram, A-R-A-M, Aram. That's a new word. What is Aram? Aram means the order that is found in nature. What order? We know chaos in nature. We see chaos all around us. The shape of the clouds, the flow of the waves of the ocean, the behavior of humans, the fluctuations of population, the pattern of roots of a plant or the branches of the neurons. But if we look carefully, there is also some kind of order in nature. And if this order is disturbed, then there will be destruction. For example, when we look at the night sky, we are reminded that there are other galaxies and planets around us. But we are still coexisting peacefully because we are all operating in some order. You see, the planets in our galaxy orbit in a certain path around the sun. Imagine what would happen if suddenly one planet pushes its boundary and goes off orbit. What would happen if, for instance, suddenly the planet Jupiter decides to spin in a square orbit? Imagine the destruction it would cause. So it looks like every form of life and non-life operates within certain boundaries. There could be exceptions to the rule, but the exceptions cannot deny the presence of the boundary. For example, a fish is designed to survive in water. It cannot live on land. That is the boundary for the life of the fish. And as long as it stays within that boundary, it can survive. A bird is designed to fly in the air. It cannot survive underwater. A deep sea creature can live happily in deep sea but cannot survive in shallow water. And a flower will die if it is separated from the plant. So as long as life operates within its boundary, it flourishes. And this brings about an order and harmony. Do you see that? So this order that is found in the nature is called as Aram or DHARMAM. If every other aspect of creation around us is able to flourish within its boundaries and is able to maintain peace with each other, then what about us humans? We are also a part of creation. Could there be some boundary within which we could conduct our lives and thereby flourish and be happy? Logically, there should be one. And that order by which we could conduct our individual lives to be in harmony with the rest of the creation is called as Aram or DHARMAM. So how do we understand this order? Some things are very obvious, such as sticking our hand in the fire will burn skin, so we can easily observe that and tell others not to put their hand in fire. We have observed that playing in the rain can give us a cold or fever. These things are easy to observe and learn, but other things are not so obvious. Things like the consequences of being rude or honest or dishonest, these things are not so clear. So how do we know what is the Aram for an individual life? Who has the ability to discover these things? I said that Thirukkural is a book of Aram for human lives. But who is the author of Thirukkural and how was he able to give us the Aram for human lives? And more importantly, why should we believe him? So I leave you with these questions and I will finish off here. We will address these questions in the next session. Thank you for listening. Nandri Vanakkam.